Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Soakley. This channel is about me cooking different recipes that I get from books, from internet, from friends, family, whatever I can find I'll try to make. Whether it comes out delicious or not, who knows. So that's kind of the journey. So you'll be embarking on my journey, and what I'm going to be making today is called Pra Hok, which is a Cambodian dish. There are different variations of this dish, so I'm just going to make the variation that I like to make. It consists of lean pork, some peas right here, you have red curry paste, you have coconut milk, sugar, tamarind, fish sauce, and the main piece is this fish paste right here, which is a very stinky fish paste. So if you ever gone into any Cambodian's house and you see this on a table, that house is going to be stinking. So on top of that, what I'm going to add is these leaves right here. They're called kaffir lime leaves. These garnish the dish and it makes it very delicious. So let's get started, and I'll start cooking with the peas. So I normally cook. My wife doesn't cook. I don't like her cooking, so I do get a lot of heat from that. But you know, I'm the main cook in this house. She cooks from time to time, but not as well as my cooking. So she's recording right now, and she'll probably say something to me later. But you know, I'm used to her just getting mad at me all the time, so nothing new. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir the peas and just heat them up a little bit. Once those are on there, the next thing I'll do is I'll remove the peas from the pot, or from the pot, and I'll put it into the bowl, and then I will put the coconut milk into that pot. So let's just make sure this doesn't burn on me. Once it gets a little brown, that's when I know it's ready to go. It adds an extra flavor, a little extra pop in the Pra Hok dish. So give me a few more minutes. This will be ready, and then I'll go ahead and remove this out. So let's see, it's almost ready, because I don't want to cook this with the coconut milk at the same time. That's where I'll be mixing these two ingredients together. Actually, these three ingredients primarily, then I'll start adding all the other recipes in there. This is almost ready. I usually like to cook foods from different cultures, whatever I can find, whatever I can think of, I'll start making. Sometimes I get a little adventurous, sometimes I'm not, but I'll make desserts, I'll make main courses. One thing I love doing is barbecue. That's one of my favorite, slow smoke barbecue. But you know, sometimes you gotta have a little variety into the mix. It's like having a girlfriend. You can't just have one at a time. You gotta have variety. So we'll let that roast for about another 30 seconds or so before I remove them out, because I don't want the pan to burn. I think that looks good right now. Let me turn down the heat a little bit. Okay, looks a little brown, so let's go and transfer all of this into here. So one thing is, you never pour cold liquid on any superheated metal, or else it's going to warp it. So hopefully it's not too hot where it's gonna warp the metal, but little by little. Now, the coconut milk has a very distinctive aroma. One of my favorite smells in the world. Pour about 3/4 of this into it. You don't want to oversaturate it with the coconut milk. And just put on low heat. There we go. So while it's on low heat, I can start adding all the other ingredients. I think I'm going to have to turn the fan on a little higher just because once I add the fish sauce, it's going to be very stinky inside. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So I add the Pra Hok into the pot. Close it up because it's gonna you don't want that odor to go around. And just sink. My wife gets mad at me when I cook because I don't clean, so she's always complaining to me about that, and I hear about it all the time. So just kind of separate it a little bit and just go ahead and let that sit there, let it cook a little bit. Now the next ingredient will be the red curry paste. Just be mindful that this thing it gets a little spicy, but it adds to the kick. So let's get this thing open. I'm not doing exact measurements. Everybody has their own level of tolerance of spice, or they want a certain saltiness. So I'm just giving you what I like to use, and I kind of know how much I always use all the time. So I put in about maybe 2 tablespoons worth of the red curry paste. Like I said, you don't want to put too much or else this thing's gonna get very spicy. It's already spicy as is. Or maybe 3 tablespoons of red curry paste. You'll start seeing that coconut liquid turn to more of a orange color, and as it gets cooked in with that fermented fish sauce. Alright, so just let that sit for now. Next thing I'll do is I'll add a little bit of the tamarind soup mix. It gives it that sour flavor. So just don't add too much because you don't want it overpowering. Just probably about almost a tablespoon. I like mine a little sour, so just add to preference. And then next thing I add is fish sauce. The fish sauce adds a little bit more salt to it, which you can later on just add a little bit of sugar just to combat the saltiness. So let's mix it all in together. And when you let it cook like this, it ensures that everything is cooked properly. The fermented fish is properly cooked, not raw, which you don't want to eat it raw. Let me start cutting the kaffir lime leaves. I haven't added the sugar yet. The sugar is just, normally I would add about 3 tablespoons, but because it is so salty, you can add more if you want, just depending on your palate, what you like. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and start cutting that kaffir lime leaves while I let that thing simmer. Alright, so let me go ahead and check this in and stir it a little bit, make sure it doesn't get burnt. This is almost ready. It's ready, so now I can go ahead and add the ground pork in. Like I said, there's no exact measurements. It's just I add the ingredients in just based on what I feel I need to add. So you do you, I do me. Everybody has their own preference. So let's give this thing a good stir. These make a very great garnishing, and it has an amazing aroma. Just make sure you constantly watch this because you don't want to burn it. Flip it over, then once it's all cooked, that's when I'll go ahead and add the peas in. Do sugar, because this does get a little salty, so generally I'll add about 3 tablespoons of sugar, which this is not coming out. Looks like it's almost, should be done soon, but I just want to make sure that it's cooked thoroughly because it's pork. Always want to make sure you cook pork thoroughly. Alright, so let's let that sit again. I say give that a couple more minutes. Then I'll do the taste test on it, see if it's either salty or sweet. If it's salty, I'll just add a little more sugar. If it's sweet, which I highly doubt, I can always add a little bit of fish sauce, which will give it a little bit more flavor. So just enjoy the crackle and pop of the ground beef for now. Now, it looks like it's golden brown, some parts. Hopefully not too burnt, but next thing we're gonna do is add the peas in. And let's get that work in there. And start mixing it up together. Now we have a little more color, which is nice. But it looks like it is cooked. So the next thing I'm going to do is I need to test it out. A little bit on the salty side. I think I need to add about 2 more tablespoons of sugar. And I think that's the right amount. One more time. Let's see how it tastes. I'm pretty sure the second bite's gonna be even better. Ooh, a little hot. Voila. What I always say is dinner yourself. So that's it. Let's let that rest for a little bit. So let me show you all the vegetables that I like to eat with this. So you follow me over here. Regular cucumber. I don't know what they're called. All I know is cucumber. Eggplants. Just make sure it's fresh. Fresher the better. And some people know this in the Asian culture as ong choy, but I know this as morning glory, spring glory, morning glory. Yeah, morning glory. So I will prepare all of this, and once it's done, I'll give you guys the final product. So what I'm going to do is put this into a little bowl and transfer it over to the plate. It's delicious. Don't mind the mess. My wife will go ahead and clean up all of this stuff for me, all right? So there's the dish, and to top it off, like I mentioned before, this is the kaffir lime leaf that I wanted to add, and voila. dinner is served. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Every meal is a lesson, every lesson builds strength. Thank you and bye.